Yo, it's your homeboy Kiiro in the building. Welcome to episode 76 of my One Piece discussion series. In this episode, I talk about One Piece 3D2Y. That is the special that came out for 3D2Y, which is, basically the events that happened to Luffy during the time skip, a bit of insight on his training, his power level, all that good stuff. And just a warning, a heads up for you guys. Luffy does not show us anything that we have not seen him do. So, if you're up to date with the manga or the anime, you will not see any new techniques. There's no new King's Haki, there's no Gear Forth, there's none of that shit. So that's just a warning. Like most of my reviews, I'm gonna do a review first, then I do a discussion afterwards. Now there's some stupid birds outside my window, and I forgive me if you can hear any background noise or whatever, but it is what it is. So let's start the review. This was a very good One Piece special. I was enjoyed throughout the movie, which I can't say for every One Piece movie. Some movies, they usually have good climaxes, but some of them are like boring as hell from beginning to the middle. You know what I'm saying? This was not such a movie. This was actually entertaining throughout. It was entertaining throughout, and I highly recommend anybody watch it. We had the second strongest villain we've seen in a movie or special outside of Shiki. We had one of the best, if not the best, action sequence or action scene or fight that we've seen in a One Piece movie. Well, one of, I would say, like top three. It depends on your personal taste. And we had fan service comedy. This movie really brought everything. However, just like a typical One Piece movie, or One Piece special, you're gonna have it's not gonna be crazy throughout. It's gonna be like the later part of the movie where we have the climax. That's when it's really One Piece greatness. But prior to the climax, it's okay. It's not bad. It's okay. Because prior to the climax, we had a bunch of fan service like flashbacks and shit, so that was cool. But the second half of the movie or the final third of the movie, that's where the movie is really, really good, and that's where it's really that One Piece greatness. That's pretty much it for my review. I really recommend this to anybody. Really good. But once again, Luffy shows us no new powers. There is no Gear 4. You're not going to see him use any special King's Haki or anything. You're not going to see shit. So that's just a warning. If you want to see this movie specifically for that, you will be disappointed. However, it's still a good movie or good special. And I recommend anybody watch it. So let's start the discussion now. One Piece isn't available on Crunchyroll in the UK, and this extends to the special. So if you want to watch the special, you're going to have to find some other site or some other way of watching it. And this is something I want to talk about just briefly, not for too long. It's complete bullshit. Because we have other Shonen Jump series available on Crunchyroll, and Dragon Ball is another series that's not available in the UK. In fact, I'm not sure if it's available on Crunchyroll at all. But whatever the case is, whether it's One Piece, no, I'm pretty sure One Piece is available in the US, which is why I don't understand why it's not available in the UK. Now, I was thinking just now, maybe somebody's bought exclusive rights to share One Piece in the UK, but then why wouldn't the same person do the same thing for the US? Because that's a bigger market. You know what I'm saying? That makes no sense. So the only reasonable thing I can assume is that Crunchyroll don't want to buy. They don't want to buy the license. They want to save money and not buy the license, and they just figured it's not worth the license, because it's understandable that the One Piece license might be more expensive than the average series because One Piece is that big in Japan at least. But I still don't think there's any excuse for them. I really don't, because Crunchyroll is such a big firm, such a big company. They are pretty much the monopoly and the first name you think of when it comes to watching anime, online. So no excuse from them. This is completely unacceptable. Crunchyroll, Shonen Jump, whoever's fault it is, fix this shit. It's completely bullshit. Sorry about that, but I just, it's relevant, so it's worth mentioning now. I might even, I'm not gonna do a second video. Fuck that shit. But yeah, now we're gonna start the discussion. Yeah, like I said, no new powers, which is a bummer, but I told fanboys refused to listen. I told them Luffy's not gonna have shit in the special. This is training. How strong do you think Luffy was, pre-time skip? You know what I'm saying? Calm down. We saw him against Caesar Clown. We saw him against the Z. We saw him against Hoodie Jones. Luffy isn't, all that crazy. Calm down. Calm your tits down, you know what I'm saying? Even in this Doflamingo fight, I don't think Luffy's going to bring anything new to the table. He might unlock something during the fight, especially considering it's King Haki. It might escalate to the next level. That's definitely a possibility. However, I don't think going into the fight he's going to have any techniques, because he didn't use the technique against Caesar Clown. He didn't use it against Hoodie Jones. You know what I'm saying? Because people are going to dismiss the films either like, oh, it's not canon, so that L doesn't count. I'm like, okay, fine, fair enough. But look at Hoodie Jones, who's weaker than Z. Look at Caesar Clown, who is arguably weaker than Z. You know what I'm saying? Luffy didn't do shit against them, so just calm your tits down with all these power ups. We've barely touched his King's Haki, and I'm pretty sure King's Haki is gonna be crazy. Like he's not even on Shanks level of King's Haki. Okay, now that's understandable. He doesn't necessarily need to jump to Yonko level, but his King's Haki is just eh. I mean, it's not that useful right now. It's not that useful. I mean, but whatever. My point is, if you have faith in Luffy as a character, then you shouldn't be giving him these imaginary power-ups. Just calm down. When he needs the power-up, he'll get it. Just like Gear Second. He didn't need Gear Second to beat Don Krieg. He didn't need it to beat Buggy the Clown or any of that shit, Wait for Luffy to need these power-ups first. So just calm your tits down. And yeah. Something to note is there are some scenes, some flashbacks that have non-canon scenes in them. So like Luffy versus the Admirals, that scene was not canon. Now that event did happen, but the way it was portrayed in the movie was different from the manga and the anime. So that's just a brief example, but it doesn't really happen much. But just worth noting because some people are gonna like take that shit in, or they might be like, oh, I didn't remember this correct. I remember this differently. So maybe this is the correct way. Nah, you remember it correctly. It's the movie that's changing things up, and it's just so they can squeeze in everything in that amount of time because they have like a time slot in like the Tokyo TV or whatever channel is shown on in Japan. The next thing to talk about is the villain. Now the villain he starts off pretty generic. I mean, he's always been strong throughout the movie, but he starts off pretty generic, very shallow. But towards the end of the movie, they give him like a few flashbacks and shit, which add layers to his character. And I liked that they did that because he's a really strong character. And with the extra layers they've given him, he's actually a likable villain, because without that, he's just a generic One Piece villain. I mean, generic One Piece movie villain, which is, shallow and boring with some stupid power. You know what I'm saying? But this guy actually had some good powers and he had some good fights and all that. So it's really nice that they gave him that extra layer of depth. What else? I will be doing a video on Red Hawk because it's going to be a short video, but it's going to be a video nonetheless because I have some interesting stuff to talk about concerning Red Hawk. That's another thing. But yeah, back to World, which is the antagonist, the villain of the special. His power is really good, but my whole thing is this man was in level 6 and he's none of Blackbeard's crew. So I mean, these dudes, I don't know how strong they are, but damn, if they're stronger than him, they must be something else. They really must be something else, and I really can't wait to see, Bosco Shard, Don Juan, and all the other cats that Blackbeard recruited from Impel Down. In fact, I'm still happy to see some more Burgers action, but I don't think we're gonna really get anything for the rest of this arc. I will be happy if we get something, but I'm not optimistic. Anything else worth mentioning? Oh yeah. We got a lot of appearances in this, like we got Garb, Mihawk, all that kind of shit, and they really didn't do anything, which pissed me off a bit. I just hope in future, when characters are featured, they actually do shit. Mihawk did do something. He had like one single feat, but it's not to complain about. He did have a feat nonetheless, but I would have liked a bit more Mihawk if they're including him in the movie. Basically he cut something that's like half the size of an island with one of his flying slashes, which is cool. Anything else? Oh, also he didn't land in the water, so he might still have a double fruit if Oda wants to go down that route. Anything else in this movie? Oh yeah, Boa Hancock has a new attack called Pistol Kick or whatever, and Buggy has a new attack as well. So basically Buggy used something called the Muggy Ball in Impel Down, but he has a stronger version of it called the Buggy Ball. So we don't see the full extent of this attack because it is blocked by something, but I'm interested to see the exact level of damage this thing does. Now Buggy isn't a character we should be taking seriously, but it's still interesting nonetheless. So yeah, new moves to Hancock and Buggy. Mihawk sliced something that's half the island with one slash, a flank slash nonetheless. Red Hawk is interesting when we talk about it. Luffy shows us absolutely nothing new. In fact, his Red Hawk didn't even take out the villain. Now the villain got knocked out, so Luffy quote unquote won that fight, but it didn't take him out Cody Jones style, you know what I'm saying? And understandably this is the first time he used Red Hawk, but nonetheless, that's still something important. But yeah, I think I've covered pretty much everything worth mentioning concerning the special that is of actual relevance to the future story. So yeah, I'm gonna wrap things up right now. Thank you for chilling all the way to the end. Like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff, and as always, thank you guys for watching.